Hello and welcome back to At Any Cost Metz 1870 from GMT at the day of battle scenario Mars Tour, and we are now on the 3 p.m. turn, about to commence. We've done all our chits into the cup. We have recently added the French Imperial Guard Corps into the chit cub, and we'll see how that gets going. So without further ado, let's draw some chits. So the first one out of the cup is the French 6th Corps. So that's the corps that didn't have a go last turn because of Bazain's malaise, and so it gets to make up for it now. And this is the corps, the yellow corps around here. It's one of its divisions has taken quite a beating, the Video Corps, but also there's been some activity over here, and it's now facing not quite entrenched, but set Prussian infantry sitting in defensive terrain backed by artillery. So it's got its work cut out for it. It's good morale. It's 7s, and even the battle-worn units are still a 5. Much better quality than the 2nd Corps, which remains around here protecting Flavigny as it can. So we need to decide what we're going to do with the HQ here. Are we going to assault this turn or not? I think we should bring the guns to bear, really. That's the real strength of the French situation, with the rifles, 2 hex range and a shift. Though what we want to do quite with this stack here, where we want to bring it into the forest. That was the original idea, but now it's facing a Prussian infantry unit. If we do that, then we'll need to flip to the aggressive side, which means it will be out of command if we do that, as it's a two command range on its aggressive side. That's not very useful, is it? So yeah, if we continue to try and outflank here, I think, and keep it on the defensive side, that'll be best. Okay, so keep it on the defensive side, and let's do some fire combat, and I'll come back to you when I've completed with the results for that. Okay, well that was pretty depressing for the French. Not an effect at all, really. Didn't fire the artillery down here. We're going to move that. I think it's best to move that back here to get fire available. Here it's actually blocked by this forest, and it's probably not worth us trying to fight through the forest with the artillery anyway. So that will move. We got no results at all on the infantry, but anyway, we'll look at the movement now. Yeah, that still won't be able to see because of that, and we might actually back this guy away to leave the field open. We have the horse artillery or main artillery. I think we will send this horse artillery here. Sorry, the main artillery here. to set up a proper barrage line and the horse artillery down to help out second corps. And that's about it. Going on to the rally step, so we can take the artillery fire marker off, and here we can use two steps to undisrupt, two rallies to undisrupt that and to remove the low marker. I think that's the best use. So this is fully operational again. Oh, didn't move this guy, so this guy will certainly go up the slope to that wooded area there, and so we'll get a nice connection between the 6th and the 3rd Corps, and that's about it, I think, at the moment. Yeah, so we'll go on with the next chit. And right back at them, it's the 3rd Prussian Corps. So we have Alversleben in defensive mode here, so he's only got a 4 hex range. However, he can cover here and he can cover up there, so we've got everybody except for this guy in command. So we'll put an out of command marker, random one, on top of him. See what happens to him. So I'll widen the angle here so you can see who I'm talking about. It's this chap here. Everybody else is in command. So yeah, let's do the fire combat and any movement there. We've got artillery here to fire, and these units as well. So a lot of metal going to be thrown at the French from this corps. Okay, and we'll do that now and see what happens. Okay, so pretty devastating from the Prussian artillery as usual. So quite a strike into here with disruptions on both units. Fire here again produced a cohesion hit, which actually was on the corps artillery, being the biggest unit. Makes it pretty much well nigh useless now with the with the low ammo that can't be fixed for the day. And over here, a hit from the 3rd Corps artillery here into the village, so producing disruptions as well. So they're getting softened up. We've moved this infantry up here. It's fairly tough, and I think we get ready to have a hack at the village next turn, and we removed the shaken marker from him. And yeah, we're just about on everything with just the outer command marker to be found, and that's a manoeuvre, so he can move, and I think it's worth trying to get him into range of the HQ. Should be there 2, 3 and 4. I think that'll get him into the right place for next turn. Great. So yeah, that's the 3rd Corps done, and it's doing very well. Remove the fire markers and go for the next activation. Ooh, we've lost that one. There we go. Right, so next activation. Oh, and it's the great Bazaines Malaise chit. Just focus on that. So we get to place this on a French corps. There hasn't been any chit pools for French events which could be used on the charts, so there's no dice roll to stop this. Pretty sure that the best place to place it would be in the third corps. Sixth corps is already gone. Second corps is pretty beaten up. We could place it on the Imperial Guard, or we could place it here. I think one more turn without the third corps is probably the best thing to do. So we will place it there, and that's the third corps done for the turn. And let's carry on with the chit pull. So we get the Prussian 6th Cavalry Division, which is down here. Hasn't really got a lot to do at the moment. I'm toying with the idea of actually bringing them around here to provide the flank, now that I've pulled across the third corps infantry. I think I will do that. So I'll pull off this horse artillery as well, so I won't be doing any firing, and yeah, I'll just get them to move. Okay, that's complete, and yeah, remove the shaken marker with the rally roll, the rally action from the HQ in defensive mode. So yeah, streaming across here, artillery already in place, shielded behind the ridge for the cavalry, for any artillery to come through, and so should be safe to keep transferring across next turn. And let's go for the next one. We have the French 4th Corps. This is the corps that's up here, around here, streaming down here. My idea for it was to actually intersect between 6th and 3rd, although the way that 6th is melting here, I think by the time 4th gets there won't be much of it left, and it may have to try and deal with Vionville here. So yeah, let's get all those moved. We've got over here some stragglers, some reinforcements here which are going to be out of command, and let's get everybody moving. Out of command marker there, and we'll move the lot. Okay, that's completed. The infantry is straggling a little with the cavalry in front and the HQ trying to keep everybody in command there. The reinforcements there froze again, so they haven't moved except for their first turn coming on the board. They haven't moved an inch, but anyway, that's all 4th Corps done. Let's see what else turns up. We have the 1st Cavalry Corps for the French. Interestingly, that's over on this side. It's just 3 units, HQ and 2 units here. Probably the idea is to get him out over here somewhere, ready to cut off the town, although the town now has substantial reinforcements. But if we can coordinate with the 3rd Corps cavalry here, get them over into the open terrain. So therefore we'll get them into fence mode anyway. And we'll place the artillery to try and lay down some fire with the cavalry with them, and the HQ. I think that should be so. For 3 hexes with the horse artillery, it'll start to pound that cavalry unit. There's not much else to do with 1st Cavalry Corps there, so let's carry on. We have the Prussian Tactics chit. So we've had Bazane's Malaise already, so yeah, we've got this one early, which the Prussians haven't put any chits down to try and prevent. So we'll have to do some analysis on this to see where's the best place to place this. Could be very interesting for the unit in Vionville, where it could decide to take a walk, and yeah, maybe quite interesting that. So yeah, I'll come back on that. Okay, so with the Prussian aggressive tactics kit, we'll apply it to the infantry unit here, and we will send it into this hex, and then it will attempt to assault that hex there. However, of course, as it moves out of the village, the hasty works disappears. It doesn't preserve itself on its own, and there will be defensive fire onto this unit from these 3 hexes as well. So what we have is from this infantry unit we have a 0, so there's no attack from there. Then the artillery has a 2 factor, but it's canister, so it's actually 3 factor. So we roll for a 3 factor attack here. We get no effect from that. Then we get this infantry on a 2 factor upper column for French infantry. We get a miss there as well. Then the artillery below, which is 5, and it's canister, so that's actually a 7. So on the 7 chart, the 7 chart is a morale test, but we rolled a 30. The 3 is a morale test, and it's a 10, which does exceed its morale by 2, so it gets a shaken marker from that artillery unit. And then finally we have the infantry unit here on the top, which is a 5 up one column to a 6 to 7. Rolls a 46, and a 46. 4 is a morale test +1. We got a 6, which is +1, a 7. So it survives that. And finally, the artillery here, which is a 3, but canister again, so that will be a 4, and then it's down 2 columns because of its low ammunition. So I'll try that, and we get a no effect. So not as effective on the fire as we hoped for the French, but it now does a combat here, an assault, and we are 5 versus 5 on the lead unit, so it's a 0 on the chart. And we will see for the shifts here, we have Prussian infantry attacking, so it's +1. We have the odds, so this is 5 plus the 3 halved, so it's it's not 1 to 2, so there's no change there. It's +1 for its TCR, and that's about it. So it's a +2 roll for the combat. So maybe this wasn't such a good idea, but let's see what the roll is for the French. So it's a 2, which is a pretty bad roll. That's an A1. So I think what will happen is the Prussian unit will actually retreat back into the town. So overall, well, I've removed the hasty works marker and caused a shaken result on it, so that's something. And that's the Prussian aggressiveness tactics marker done. Then moving on, we have the French second corps. So this is our friends down here who've had a bit of a tough time. It has a leader casualty, so in defence it's got a range of 3. So everything is within command range. It's definitely not going to attack anything. It's not going to move adjacent for engagement. And we will need to do fire combat. And then I think we will be trying to remove disruptions in the main as much as we can. Yeah, so I'll sort all that out. Okay, so we've just moved some units over here so we can get a line of sight. Everything missed, and that's pretty much it for the core, except for removing 3 levels of disruption here with the 3 points on there, and so that's the second core done. Right, what have we got next? We have the French Imperial Guard. Okay, so that'll be another moving up to the front. That's this group here. So it's fairly well split, and the HQ has got a max of 3 range. So there's a few of its pieces, plus one that's way over here as well. So yeah, something to do there. So let's get them on the move and see how it looks at the end. Okay, so the corps has barreled down the road, and we've got our first out of command, which is a cautious. This is cavalry and horse artillery, so that's good because it'll keep up. So yeah, let's look. That's 2, 3, 3, 3, and this is yes. But if we put it there, we're within range of command next turn, so that's fine. And then let's have a look at this stack here, which we got to withdraw. So no enemy unit within 4, so it sits there. And we've got another orphaned unit here. It's actually a very good one, but possibly the best one in the corps. But oh well. Right, that's oh, and we have our unit way up here, which has a frozen, so oops, upside down, has a frozen marker, so it doesn't move either. And yeah, we got a few too many of those with out of command units which are starting out of command, and yeah, I don't know, it seems a little unfortunate. Right, so that's that done. What will I do with the Imperial Guard? Well, I'm thinking maybe I could come around here through Second Corps and cause some trouble up here, so maybe deflect the attention from Flavigny. because it's getting under some pressure now with both the sorry, camera was up towards the top there, so yeah, bring it round here and try and relieve the pressure on Flavigny, I think, or even take Flavigny itself and second core, which is really quite busted up, can sort of keep out of the way, I suppose, or just hold a line on the flank. Not sure yet. We'll see what happens with that. So the next shit to be pulled is an event, battlefield conditions. So we've had most of the infantry corps actually move. Third corps isn't going to move. Fourth and the only second of corps, sixth corps, yeah, pretty much everybody has. So this isn't really going to be that useful. We're not going to charge any cavalry, so I think we will put that on the French offensive spirit to try and get Bazaine's chit for next turn. The one that's like the Prussian Commander-in-Chief chit. So yeah, why not try that? We get the 5th Cavalry Division for the Prussians, which are way over here at Mars-la-Tour now, even though they started the whole business around Vionville. Yeah, just looking at the deployment here, I think we're quite happy with defensive posture from the HQ. However, with the cavalry, not a lot of point being behind the infantry, the artillery there, because it needs line of sight to charge. So therefore I think we should bring them round on the flank here. And have that that available. I don't think we should charge yet. We can use opportunity charge. However, what we can do is we can fire these. So actually, let me put that back, and we can do the fire combat first, which will be these 2 horse artillery. I think we can shoot up here. There's I think we'll send 1 here and 1 up there, because there's 2 units there to be dealt with. Yeah, to here and to there. So let's see how that goes. Okay, so we got a shaken result here, or a morale test which it failed here, no effect up here. But as you can see already, the guns are coming into play, and this is just the horse artillery. And then we'll move the cavalry around. They can't charge into that bridge hex, so we'll wait for things to appear. We can opportunity charge into these 2 spaces. Yeah, so that's, I think we might put the 5th Corps HQ just behind, so everything is within command. And that's it for the 5th Cavalry Division. Right, what's next? Okay, so we have another French event, Cloud of Skirmishers. Again, if we're not doing a lot of movement, I think that will probably be, well, we can do the line of sight fire, and yes, we might use that actually. Let me see. Yeah, I think okay, so we've got a 6 hex range of an infantry unit, and we can fire, and it's a TCR measurement rather than anything else. So maybe these wonderful Imperial Guard units may be able to do something. Our big unit is way up here, unfortunately. We have a 4 factor with an 8. Well, the factor doesn't really matter, it's just the TCR really. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It can't quite get there. We have 7s. Okay, the unit must, but it can't go through an enemy unit, so we can't go into the back space, the back lines. Yeah, I think it'll have to be a 7 unit. I don't think any of our 8s will be able to reach. So let's pick a unit. I think maybe we'll pick this guy in Vionville. I think he's the most critical at the moment. So it's a roll, say, from this unit here. And yeah, so it's just a TCR roll, which is a 7. We rolled a 9, so it missed. Oh well. Next one on. Get the next chit on, and we have the 3rd corps, which, because of Bazain's malaise, doesn't move. So that's that turn done. And on we go. 3rd Bataillon chit. This is a corps that isn't going to move when it's activated, but it does get fire combat value bonuses. Unfortunately, anything in the front line we've already had. I think we're just waiting really for the 3rd Cavalry Division, and I think that's it. So therefore this isn't going to be any use. So we'll put it onto the command event chart again for Bazain's chit, if we can get it. So we get a decent chance now. It's a 1 to 4 on a dice roll at the end of the turn for next turn. Okay, we go to Krupp's guns. Chit for the Prussians. Any use, I wonder? Well, we could use one of these guns to fire again to keep the French away. Maybe this is possibly the most likely hex, or we could try and get more effect in Flavigny. I think, yeah, we should still keep on the offensive here. So I think we should still fire into Flavigny. So that's a 7. Yeah, we don't want to move it. We can move it half moving if we want to do, and half fire. But we'll just do the immediate use of that chit and fire these guns. So that's 7 plus 1, 8. Down 3 columns for the town. So that's on the 4 column. So let's see how we roll on that. A 55, very middling. That's a morale test, and a 5 versus the 6 is okay. But this one is actually a 5 at the moment, the artillery unit. So yeah, 6 with the -1 shaken, which means it yeah, it gets the it's equal to, so it actually gets a morale hit. Okay. That artillery is not very effective now. But we didn't get anything on the infantry, which I think is what we're really waiting for to try and assault the town. Anyway, on we go. have a panic test. I think that's the first time we've had that. I can't get it focused here. Yeah, anyway, so that's camera's not helping there. So panic test. So yeah, this is if a Prussian unit retreats. I can't see any of them retreating again this turn. So again, I think this is probably more useful up on the chart. So we've got a full track for the French offensive spirit. So we've got a 1 to 6 chance of getting Bazaine's chit next turn, which will be helpful for the French. Okay, so let's see what else we have. A Prussian inspirational leadership token. So this is our multi-use token, which is increasing assault combat result in Prussians' favour. Remove a morale marker, or automatically rally a unit from the rebuilding box. I think, yes. Seeing as the Prussian army is fairly fresh at the moment, it's really being very, very resilient. The only one we've got to worry about is here, so I think we'll use it to remove that shaken marker. Yeah, that's about as good. Yeah, so it's about as good use as I can think of. We could put it on the reinforcement track, or to stop the aggressiveness chit has already been, so just the reinforcement track. We haven't got a lot still coming in really, so it would only help one group, one turn. I don't think that's a big deal at this moment in time, so we'll go with that. And the French 3rd Cavalry Division, which is just on the edge of the camera at the moment. It's just up here, looking to redeploy up there. So it's just a move, so I'll go and do that. Okay, that's done. They've just got around to the town of Jarny there, and starting to head down this road. So yeah, that's all that done. Not many chits to go yet, I think. Oh, we've got the Fortunes of War chit, so let's do a dice roll to see what happens with that. We have a 3. Let's just check that one. I think that would be... it's the degrade of the next chit. So let's pull that next chit out. It's an event chit, so that gets cancelled. And let's keep pulling chits out. Okay, Prussian battlefield conditions. Okay. I'm not sure there's a huge amount of use for this. Maybe we'll put it onto the reinforcement track anyway. Let's keep going. And a cloud of skirmishers for the Prussians. So we can do a combat. I believe it's the same parameters as the French have. Just 100% checking that. Yeah, it's the same, but only for 4 hexes. So, yeah, we're looking for a high high TCR unit. Well, they're all 8s anyway, so I think we can just use it to keep on pounding. Yeah, I think okay, I think we'll just use this unit here, or this unit here, it doesn't really matter, into the village. There's no modifier, it's just the TCR, so it's on an 8. That's a 6, so that's a morale hit. So the skirmishers succeed where the standard infantry failed, but we've got a morale hit there now. Okay, and our next chit. Is a panic test on the Prussian side. Again, I don't think there's going to be too much in the way of combat or retreat, certainly. So the panic test, I think, will go to the reinforcement track. And we have 10th Corps. So that's still really forming up around the village of Mars-le-Tour. So let's continue with that. There's this division here and this one up here, so that's well into the town. I think we need to bring this one up this way to cover this gap. We're not going to be reliant completely on that cavalry. So yeah, we'll do that movement. Everybody's within 4 of the HQ, so that's fine. Okay, yeah, that's done. I don't feel the Prussians are really under any pressure from the French at all. The French are still effectively on the defensive here, even though they have a lot of units. It's really tough against these high morale units and against these big guns with their bonuses. So yeah, and over here, this attack up here hasn't really got started yet. It keeps getting delayed. When it hits, I suppose, but there is enough of 10th Corps here now to deal with it. We haven't formed up our cavalry here. We've got the 1st Cavalry Corps, but it's only tiny. I don't think it'll be charging it. It'll just be using its horse artillery for the moment. Yeah, there's not a lot of pressure, as I said. Okay, we have one chit left, which is the General Staff chit. Oh yes. So we can activate a division. Interesting. We could do Buddenbrock's division here. We could do Stolpnagel's here. I don't think we need to worry over here at all. We could do the cavalry division, but it's really the artillery is going to fire. I think another. Well, let's try it here, because if we fire the artillery, oops, the camera's not there again. Apologies. Down here with Stolpnagel's division, we can fire the artillery off, and if it has an effect, maybe we can try and do an assault into there. Well, let's give it a go and see how we go. So we're activating Stolpnagel's division. We fire the artillery off, which is 7 plunging fire up to 8, and then down 3 columns for the town. So on the 4 table, oh, well, we got a big hit, but I'm not sure about the morale. A 10. Well, that's a morale test plus 3, so that becomes a 7. Well, the 7 disrupts that unit. and the horse artillery there. That definitely fails, so that becomes battle worn. Well, we can also fire this Prussian infantry unit. Not very effective. It's going to be on the 3 table, down 3 columns into the C table, but we might as well try it. Oh, well, we got a 10 there, but it's only a 2 following, so that's just a standard morale test. The infantry ignores it. However, this artillery, which is currently on a 1, fails, so it may break. We have to do a roll for it, and its current TCR is only a 1. On a 3, good roll, but it's not good enough, so the artillery is in the eliminated box for being broken, and these are removed. I'm not sure if the low ammo marker goes with it. I'll check that up later, but it's possible. And so we've just got the infantry left in there. Okay, so we could move and do an assault, because it's rather on its own. Oops. And its fire would only be a 3, upper column. Well, let's give it a try. So in the movement, we will go 1, 2 to there. We'll receive fire of 3, up 1 column, 4. And let's see what that does to the Prussian unit. It's a decent roll, but I'm not sure it's going to do a great deal. And yeah, morale test +2, but it's only a 2. 2 + 2, 4. The Prussians are able to shrug it off. Then we'll move this unit up here for another defensive fire of on the 4 column. Again, not a bad shot, but it's not gonna worry these tough Prussians. So that's that, and then we will do an assault, and we'll use the 8 factor unit as the lead unit. So it's 8 versus 3, which starts at a +5. That's a decent starting table. It's Prussian infantry, so it goes up a column anyway. The town will drop it by 3, so we're on the +3 chart. Better TCR indeed, so up again, +4, and I think that's it. Yeah. So it's on the +4 chart. Let's see how it works out. Oh, actually, no, we have the odds as well. So the odds, so we have 15 to 3, so it's way above 3 to 1, so it's 3 shifts up again. So, wow, we're up on the +7, so something nasty is going to happen to the French unit. See how bad it is. It's not great. It's an 8. So an 8 on the +7 is a D3 star, so it will flip, and it really has to retreat, because if it tries to take a morale hit or another casualty hit, then it's going to have to break. So they've pushed it out of the town. Very well done. Okay, so it was a D. Let me check. Is a D3 star. So 1 is the flip, and it's a star because it has to be. So 2 more, and we'll move. That's overstack. That's overstack. So it has to move. Go to the HQ and beyond. And we can then advance with the lead unit, and well, there you go. The Prussians are in charge of what they need to win at the moment. They have They have Mars-Latour here, Pousieux just down here, which is very far away from the French, and they have Tronville, Vionville and Flavigny now. And yeah, so that's a winning position. So this is getting a little bit of problematic for the French now. They've been very ineffective throughout the game. Hardly any units have had a loss. We've got a one Prussian cavalry unit in the rebuild box, and another couple of units flipped into battle worn, but nothing significant, and they're all cavalry. The infantry's still fresh. The artillery's still cracking along, and at least one corps is wrecked. The other one's getting there very quickly, and yeah, it's difficult to see where the French go from here. They really need to get on their horses, and sort this out. But it's pretty difficult. It's badly coordinated. Yeah, it's slow and, well, not very effective. Okay, well, that's it except for the housekeeping. So we have the French offensive spirit here, which is on a 1 to 6. We will get Bazain's chit next turn for the first time, so let's try and get that. We get a 5, so we do get that chit in the cup next turn. So I say it's the equivalent of the Prussian General Staff one. Big difference is the Prussian General Staff can be held by the Prussian player, whereas the French one has to be used immediately, and of course has to be qualified each turn for use. So that goes in the cup. That's well done. And then we have a roll of 1 to 5 for the Prussian reinforcement stack, and we will be bringing in the guards early into next turn if that works. So let's roll for that. A 3. So yep. So the guards, which were meant to come in at 5 PM, are now coming at 4 PM, which is next turn. So, and that'll be all the Prussians to get in this scenario. We still have 6 turns left. So a full strength Prussian player who's hardly been touched. The French have really got their work cut out for them. Yeah, we don't need to put any more chits on activation. All of them are available now. We're on the game turn track. So right, we're done for the turn. So thanks very much for watching again. Hope it's not too much of a slog, and apologies for some of the camera work where I'm not watching where I'm going, and the action is happening off camera. But and hope the voice is clearer as well. And so see you next time for the 4 PM game turn. Thank you very much for watching.